As Lori says, everybody, hit the like. Sooner Nation, Surgeaholics, what is up? It's a Monday night. It's some good and some bad if you're OU football fans today in the recruiting world, a world that I don't really like to get caught up in, Jay, but we got to talk about it. Sooners land Jaden O'Neal, 2026 four-star quarterback, has an absolute cannon of an arm. They solidify their quarterback needs pretty much for the next 6 to 8 years by getting Jaden O'Neal, 6'3", 200 pounds, great get. And then disappointing that they're not able to land the commitment of Max Granville, Jay, because, listen, I know this could get on here. We could talk a lot about this, but I don't want to hear a couple of things tonight from Sooner fans, okay? One, I don't want to hear this right here, Sperry's gone. Stop it. Stop. Second of all, I don't want to hear, it's okay. He's going to go get someone else better. Okay, Max Granville was a tough loss, period.
Well, and when we did this live last night, the thought from most people was Granville is going to be a Sooner. So a couple of things on that Granville thing. And I do not follow recruiting like a lot of people. I'll just be flat out honestly. Either he played OU like – that's right. Either he played OU like a fiddle or he just changed his mind last second. I tend to think – and here's what I'll say about it. I don't even know if it's played like a fiddle these days. You know what I think it is more than that? I honestly think sometimes, and I don't know in his situation, but I do think there are some players that just have a tough time telling people no, or I'm not going to go there. I think sometimes they leave it open. Oh, yeah, I could see myself committing to OU. Maybe they tell people that, and they know darn well they're not going to commit to OU. So here's the thing. Nobody knows on this situation, or I don't. I mean, there's people out there probably that do. That instead of, it's crazy 36, 24 hours, whatever it is. But he's not coming to OU. He's going to Penn State. He committed. Now, we'll see if it changes through signing day. But he's committed to Penn State, so I think that's where he's going.
Bobby, I believe you're also the one that said Granville was the lock last night. Were you not? And that's why the recruiting – here's what I'll say about recruiting. It does mean stuff at OU if they get a commitment, because usually they stay. And Sooner fan, what you're implying right now is that he's scared of competition or something? What?
Hey, listen. You're not going to go to a big-time school like Oklahoma and not expect that they're going to sign quarterbacks every year that are good. So I just think if you go to Oklahoma as a quarterback, you have to know that there's going to be competition. So I don't see that being an issue. I really don't.
No, it's not, Jay. It's not an issue. Sperry's not going anywhere. Matt talks about there's always going to be heartache. Absolutely there is. Again, though, sometimes, and we can't see everything on the visits. We don't know how everything's going. I know some people follow insiders, but listen, they play people like fiddles. They say one thing and they do another. That's what kids do. That's what people do.
Well, recruiting is that way, though. You're going to lose guys that you think you got. And just in the same thing as me saying that, you are also going to get guys you didn't think you were going to get. So I think it goes both ways. And you don't know until it's signed on the dotted line. But I think it goes both ways. Just like they lost Granville, I see something today, which I was kind of shocked, from Chad Simmons saying that Ty Haywood is focused on Oklahoma, Alabama. I can't remember the other school. Whereas yesterday I thought pretty much it's over, but now he's focused on Oklahoma. And let me say this too. Some of the people I saw, I don't remember who it is, so don't quote me, but somebody said the Babaloa kid, the 5-star offensive lineman that was at Norman, had a great visit, felt like Oklahoma made him a top priority. I mean, I would hope a 5-star offensive lineman would be felt like a top priority. I mean, otherwise, I don't know what we're doing here.
Bad staff if you don't make a 5-star feel like a top priority.
Yeah. So, but it goes both ways. You're going to lose guys and you're going to get guys.
Look, I loved Max Granville. I was hoping you would land him. He was such an athletic freak. But he's going to Penn State. So That is
What do
it
you think it
is.
is about Penn State in that situation? He's from down in Texas, near Texas A&M. What is the draw towards Penn State, you think? I'm just asking.
No idea, Jay.
Because it's not like he's a Pennsylvania kid, uh, so I don't know. I do think Seth is going to be a great recruiter. I think where Seth is really good is his relationships. I think he's going to be really good with his relationships. I think he'll be a good quarterback recruiter. I really do. Penn State, Richard says NIL.
Speaking of NIL, guys, OU's got a new collective.
Mm-hmm. And I can't read some of these comments.
Obviously, we can't read these comments out loud, everybody. So,
the NIL
I mean, if
thing,
you want,
what did you think of the
even if you donated a super, I mean, that would be more tempting. I would be more tempted to read it out loud, but I still can't. Okay.
Hey, Bobby,
can't.
Is it the same coach that coached Michael Parsons there? I'm just asking. I don't know.
Well, Micah Parsons and look, it's again, Jay. What's your thoughts on the OU's NIL, the new NIL?
Hunter, I'm not talking about James Franklin. I'm talking about the defensive line coach, buddy. James Franklin doesn't do anything with the defensive line coach. The one Oklahoma, as Jen dropped it in there, I think it's great for Oklahoma. I really do.
Why?
Because of the way that I listened to, I think it was Jeff Weber is his name, talk about it. And for the fans, if you're going to donate money as a fan, you're going to want something reciprocated to you from Oklahoma, from the university, whether it be, it sounds like videos, subscription model, which, hey, I think it's a great thing for fans. I do. If you're going to donate money, you need to have something, at least, I think, given back to you, right?
Yeah. And Deion Barnes, Jay, great basketball player at OU too. I don't know if you remember that. Not the same guy, but what does this say? Who was Max Granville? I don't know what you mean there. Max Granville was out of Sugar Land, Texas. Oh, who was his recruiter? Miguel Chavis.
Miguel Chavis.
It's Miguel Chavis.
And yeah, so
again, played OU like the fiddle, it sounds like.
Who knows, man? Miguel's a good recruiter, and he's been great. So,
Chester, that is right. You can donate to the One Oklahoma, and there will be small perks you will receive, Jay. That's correct.
Yeah, there's different levels. There's like a $15 level, a $40 level. It goes all the way up to a couple $100 a month. Every level you get more stuff, more perks per se. So go check it out. I mean, One Oklahoma, you can check out their website. So I would check it out.
Well, I'm just glad the other one's gone. Okay.
Well, I do think this, it's all on their website. This being one, I like the name One Oklahoma. You know right where to go. It's the one that the university is going to push. So I think that's good. Hunter says others are not completely gone. But everybody, I think the university and the school and the play, they're all going to push this one, I believe, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like, I could use a comparison, but you'll say it's bad. So, was I a fan of Crimson and Cream? I like the colors Crimson and Cream. I couldn't tell you much about the collective except what everyone said is, and I'm not going to get too much into this of why I didn't like the Crimson and Cream, Jay, but, I mean, probably not the time or place to say that.
Hey, but let me ask you this.
I don't think it was ran very well. How about that?
Let me ask you this, Jeremy. If you are donating to Crimson and Cream Collective, and now you have the One Oklahoma, isn't Crimson and Cream Collective now going to lose a lot of the donations because they're going to go to One Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, it's gone, Jay.
It's not gone. Hunter said it's still out there. I just thinking there's going to be people that leave that and go to the One Oklahoma to donate their money.
Absolutely, that's where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jay, would you go to, Phillips 66 or Buc-ee's? I mean, okay. Mez says with OU and Texas in the SEC, along with A&M, fans all around the Texas area we'll hear less about the Big Ten than the past. Probably.
Hey, real quick, somebody explain this to me. So
That's
Crimson
what I'm
Cream
saying. Crimson and Cream is gone, Jay.
it's under one Oklahoma now. If it's under one Oklahoma, how's it still a entity? Okay, so there is no Crimson and Cream. It's just one Oklahoma, then, right? And I mean there is no right. I mean, if you donate to Crimson and Cream, it goes to one Oklahoma. So really, there is no Crimson and Cream. Is that right?
Yes, I do know people were talking about online today that, hey, what's going to happen to my donation to Crimson and Cream?
Well, it's going to go to one Oklahoma.
Correct.
Yeah, and Jen said it isn't gone. She's canceled her Crimson and Cream. There you go. I don't know. I think it's a good thing.
I guess there is still some confusion, Jay.
Here's the thing. Yeah, hit the like, Teresa. No confusion in that. Hit the like. Let's see here. I want to read. What was it? Mess says NIL isn't only a collective initiative. NIL is anyone willing to choose an OU player for sponsorship opportunities. Hunter says One Oklahoma is the University of Oklahoma's new name, image, likeness initiative. It combines all of OU's NIL efforts into a single market-based group that offers sustainable financial opportunities for student athletes and real value to the fans. I think that last part is the most important part because fans are going to donate for NIL. They already were. But now, real value to the fans. I think that's important.
Hunter's dropping in the link to the frequently asked questions of the oneoklahoma.com website. Bobby says,
I don't follow recruiting.
It's OU.
My gut feeling is he is going to be a Sooner because I do think him playing with Jaden O'Neal transferred to his high school. I do think that relationship might pull OU out there and he commits to Oklahoma. I mean, we all know SMU's raised a lot of money though.
Narbonne High School.
Yeah, correct. Hey, and here's the thing. You did lose. I know you don't like to hear this, Jeremy. They lost Granville, and you're like, don't tell me they're just going to go. That's what they have to do. They have to go get somebody else. So his cousin committed to SMU. Well, I did not know that, Bobby. Thanks for the info. I did not know that. We'll see if that makes a difference.
He's committing the day that OU goes to the SEC. So he's going to announce that day either to say, yep, I'm joining up, or he's going to say, I guess it doesn't mean more to me. I guess it doesn't mean more to me. That's what he'll say.
That's an interesting point. That's true. So,
and guess what, Jay? I don't know what he's going to do. You know why? It's recruiting.
That's true.
I don't claim to know. I know what he's going to do.
What was I going to? I was going to get to something up here. Yeah, go check out the frequently asked questions. I mean, it's good for Oklahoma. That's the main thing. It is good for Oklahoma. It's a good thing. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, you can get on here and be negative again. But OU, Jaden O'Neal wasn't between OU and SMU. OU's got guys that big-time schools wanted. Now, this one, it is between OU and SMU. You're right.
It is.
Not all of OU's recruits is between OU and SMU. So let's not go ahead and just get on here and be negative Nancy the entire time. Because, and look, the fact that they lost Max Granville kills. I was high on that guy.
Yeah, I was too. I think losing him to Penn State hurts. I mean, that's negative, but it's fact.
Jay, who was the pony?
What?
What was the name of the pony from SMU?
James. Craig James.
Craig James. What else is his claim to fame?
Hey, Bobby, I know they raised a lot of money, but this isn't going to be just an NIL play, I don't think, for that player. So I wouldn't think so. Not for him. But
and I'm not. Hey, first off, I'm not calling you out, Eric, saying you're not an OU fan. I'm saying you can't pick out one thing and say it's between OU and SMU. OU just isn't doing good at recruiting. Yeah, and Sooner fan got it. It was a Mike Leach thing.
Yeah. Hunter, will you drop Emmett Jones receivers and what their star ratings are in the chat? I can't look it up right now. So
hey, if you're questioning Emmett Jones and his recruiting,
a lot of 4-stars. That's what I thought too.
A lot of 4-stars.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more 4-stars than they do 3-stars. That's for sure. But I mean, if you're talking 5-stars, I mean, how many 5-stars do you think are out there every year at wide receiver?
There's a handful, Jay. One handful, probably 5 or less.
So in the 2025 class, 3 4-stars, 1 3-star. There's not a whole, and I'm kind of with Jimmy here too, and Eric. It'd be nice to get a 5-star receiver, but there's not a whole lot out there.
I'm trying to think of one they missed out on that they were in on and they didn't get.
Well, the problem is if you're not getting in on it. I think that's what Eric's saying. If you're not,
and I dropped some names in here, Jay, because I'm not in the middle of the recruiting.
Well, Ohio State's getting them. I mean, right? I mean, look at face facts. Ohio State's getting a lot of the 5-star receivers when you think about the real unbelievable 5-stars. And then there's other schools too. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, and that's true, Greg.
Hazelwood, Trajan Bridges, and Theo Weiss. Were they all 5-stars?
I think they were all 5-stars. Luther Burden is one, John.
Luther hurt, not getting Luther Burden. Who was the other guy that went to Missouri, Jay? It was like Dorian Beckham Green, maybe?
Dorian, yeah. Wesco's
he was a 5-star.
Wesco's another one. Now, that was before Emmett Jones, though. I mean, that recruitment started way before that. Am I wrong? I thought Wesco started.
Dorian Green Beckham was not Emmett Jones. Neither was the Luther Burden. It was not Emmett Jones.
They were not. I think that's what Eric's saying is they weren't recruited by Emmett.
5 4-stars, 3 3-stars. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, guys. It's not like OU's hurting at the receiver position. It's not like that's what's holding them back. So, I mean, that, in my opinion, we could say, yeah, I'm worried OU's not able to get any guys at receiver, but OU is loaded at receiver for about the next 3 to 5 years. Absolutely loaded.
Hey, but the Wesco deal, what I meant by that, it was last year, but if I remember right, they were in on him early before Emmett Jones got there, and then they kind of lost traction, and then Emmett Jones came in. It's not like he recruited him from day one, right? Or am I wrong?
And here's the deal. Top wide receiver in the portal was Deion Burks. He wasn't top out of high school, no. And the other thing is, I don't think wide receiver is a position that you have to have 5-stars. What was CeeDee Lamb? Not a 5-star. Was CeeDee Lamb a high 3-star or low 4-star? I don't know. Not sure.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I understand, Eric, and we could have this argument, but I don't think receiver is an issue for Oklahoma right now. I think for a national championship, I don't think that would be an issue for winning a national championship. I think national championships are won on the offensive line and defensive line. If you have good receivers, you have a good quarterback, you can win a natty. So I understand where you're coming from. I'd like to have a 5-star top 5 draft pick at receiver. I get that. I just don't think that's going to be a difference in a national championship or not with what they have. I think talent-wise,
Trenches win titles. I'm not going to question Emmett Jones and his recruiting. He's been phenomenal. And there's no chance OU's losing their first game, so I don't even know why we bring it up.
Hey, here's all I have to say about that is go look at Ohio State the last 3 years. They've had, bar none, the best receivers in the nation. They couldn't even beat Michigan, and they've struggled to beat they didn't win a natty. So
Michigan won the national championship.
That's what I'm saying. So
you said they couldn't even beat Michigan.
Flashy, Michigan's great, but it's not going to be a game breaker as far as winning a national. championship.
Yeah, I mean, trenches win
right.
titles.
That's a good point. Good point, Matt.
Listen, OU's got so many receivers, they're not even going to play them all next year, okay? Not even going to be able to play them all. They're going to be great guys sitting on the bench. Their receiver room.
Go ahead.
You're lagging. I don't know if you're talking or not, Jay.
Am I lagging right now?
Hit that. You were for me. Hit that like button.
Jeremy.
Yes.
Can you name me the starting wide receivers for Georgia last year?
No.
That's my point. I mean, they had McConkle or McConkley, but what are we talking about?
Brock Bowers, Jay. That's all they needed.
What are we talking about when
people read the comment wrong, as did I? It was the comment that was in earlier, Jay. It was read incorrectly. I agree. Deepest we've had in years.
Negative recruiting Oklahoma. I think I'm behind on the chats or something, guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm behind on the comments. But what is negative recruiting OU, Sooner Cowboys? OU had flashes of great defense last year, still ended up a mid defense. That's right, and that's what they have to be different at this year, Sooner Cowboys. They have to be better at not starting off the season good, going through a sluggish part where they allow a lot. I mean, look at the TCU game last year. At the end of the year, they just got gashed for a lot of points in yards. So it's got to be better consistency, I think, throughout the season.
Dalpo is more worried about tight end instead of receiver. And that's a position, I mean, they've got some young ones. They've got some veterans this year. They need to add another tight end coming up in the next class, I think. 2026 specifically. You know, they weren't able to get Nate Roberts. That hurts.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get with Max Granville going to Penn State. They're going to have to get somebody else. I think that was going to be a big get for Oklahoma. So now you got to turn your attention to somebody else and try to close on one of them. That's what you have to do.
Have to.
Yeah.
I'm going to say terrible. I guess you would have to define a while because maybe 2 years. I think Braden Willis was pretty good.
Hey, what do you think it'll take for Oklahoma to get into the top 5 of this year's class?
More trenches, Jay. 2 5-star O-linemen.
Yeah, I think that gets it.
2 5-star O-linemen.
Yeah. But you also
I got a good feeling Fasucci's going to be a Sooner.
Hey, Arogbo and Nixon. CJ Nixon is the guy I think they're gonna land. And Arogbo trending. Greg got said they would have to land Michael Fasucci. 2 of the top offensive linemen. I agree. That's what it's going to take. Can they do it? Bobby says no. We'll see. Recruiting changes. So I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say they can't do it.
They got to land those guys.
They might. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know much about McConkey, but I know Brock Bowers is a freak.
No. The only one Mess. I agree. McConkey is a freak, and he's a really good player. What I was trying to get at was most people other than Bowers couldn't tell you who Georgia's wide receivers were.
And what was he out of high school, Jay?
What?
What was he out of high school?
I'm not sure, Jeremy.
Probably not a 5-star.
The best receiver I can remember coming out of Georgia that I know the name is the guy that went to Pittsburgh. Was it Pickens or Cincinnati? Who's the guy for Pittsburgh? He's out of Georgia.
Pickens.
Okay.
all I saw in Drake Stoops was that he's enjoying his time there. He's learning a lot. He loves it. That's all I read, and that I think was from his father. So, yep, George Pickens. Mez, I don't know what his ranking was out of high school is what I'm getting at. I don't know if he was a 3-star, 4-star, 3-star. There it is, 3-star, Jason. Thank you. Thanks for dropping that in the chat. 3-star. So, again, proves the point you don't have to have 5 stars at wide receiver. You do, however, have to have 5 stars in the trenches, in my opinion, to compete year in, year out for a national championship. That's where OU has to start getting 5 stars again and keep getting them year in, year out. Not at receiver. That's not going to be where it's at, nor is it going to be at running back. It's going to be in the trenches. I think we lost Jay. Sooner Surge says McConkey was the 166th receiver. Ohio State is doing very well in the recruiting ranks, but Ryan Day better figure out how to win a championship soon too, I think.
Well, that's another one. They got elite talent. I think Urban Meyer said this is the best talent he's ever seen at Ohio State this year. So to me, this would be the year for them to, because I think Michigan's recruiting pretty well, but I think this is the year Ohio State should be able to beat Michigan. No problem. I just think they got more talent.
And yeah, the edge rusher was Max Granville. Just a little bit about him. He was about 6'3", 6'2 and a half, 220 frame. Was a great trackster. He ran the 100 hurdles, the 300 hurdles, threw shot put, had some strength there, and he high jumped. I mean, the guy was an athletic specimen. I know you misses out on him.
Jeremy, what do you think people see in that Will Howard quarterback?
Experience, just like they do with Dylan Gabriel.
But is he an Ohio State level quarterback?
Well, they've had better guys than him, Jay, and they haven't been able to get it done.
I'm not sold on him at all. At all. I mean, I'm just not.
Yeah, the 2 Zions, Zion Reagans and Zion Kearney, pretty special guys.
Who's the best quarterback in the Big Ten this year? Is it Dylan Gabriel?
I don't know. Will Howard is absolutely about the same type of guy as Dylan Gabriel.
Richard said K-State backup was better. Hey, I think Dylan Gabriel might be the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
Here's what I'll say about Emmett Jones. You cannot deny that you cannot deny that the wide receiver room under his tutelage got phenomenally, vastly better. The guys that were already on campus. You also can't deny that he's brought pretty much elite talent and stacked a lot of guys in each class. And then you also got to say he's really put together a variety of guys with some physical guys, some speedsters, some size. I mean, you look at Ivan Carrion. I think he's done a phenomenal job. Emmett Jones is exactly what people are saying he is, and that is elite.
Hey, Sooner Cowboys. I also think, though, I don't think Oklahoma has went after many linebackers because of what they have on the team. I mean, last year, I'm trying to remember, did they take any? This year, 1 maybe? So they haven't really went after a whole lot. That's just, I mean, I think next year is going to be key because they got to go after. They got to go after some linebackers. I just think going into this 25 class, what were they going to take? Maybe 1, 2 max. So I think they have a lot on campus. It's just, recruiting, they got it. There is no excuses for Brent Venables not to get linebackers to Oklahoma, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Drew Aller.
Who is Drew Aller and who does he play for?
Hey, Jay.
Who does he play for?
Listen.
Who?
Purdue.
Does he? I don't even know who he is. So
I don't either, Jay. Jay, I'm going to say this, and again, I'm going to say it because of people who are ripping me and saying stop. I'm not going to stop. What I'm going to say is, if Will Howard had been at OU the last 2 years, their record wouldn't be any different. It wouldn't be any worse at all. He probably would have put up similar numbers.
I don't think Will Howard's that great, though.
I don't think DG's that great, Jay.
We know. I know. I'm just saying.
Jay, let me ask you this. Arm strength, who's better? They're about the same, probably. Will Howard can run the ball really well.
DG can run the ball.
Oh, the Penn State, duh. Yeah, I know that.
Hey, you're right, Hunter. It's a weak quarterback conference. It really is. I mean, USC's quarterback.
DG's at top is really weak. Stop with the hands down. Stop it.
He is the best quarterback in the conference. I mean,
No,
you can't argue.
What do you mean by that, Jay?
Right. If you looked at the teams in that conference and had to pick a quarterback that's the best rated, it would be him.
Miller Moss.
Who's up for Heisman right now? Chances to go to New York.
I'm not saying who's up for Heisman, Jay.
Jeremy, I'm asking national media-wise, who is the best?
I don't give a rip about media.
But I'm asking you. That's what I'm basing on.
Dylan, 100% sure. I'm 100% positive Dylan Gabriel's not the most talented quarterback in the Big Ten.
Is that what I said, most talented?
That's what I'm saying.
But if you want to go most talented, it is probably Nebraska's quarterback. Raiola.
I just think Will Howard could have done everything DG did here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't want to get into Will Howard DG debate. That's for sure.
Miller Moss is pretty good.
Yeah, and I understand where Mess is coming from here too, because 4-star Emmanuel Choice, if you're talking 3-star, I mean, you saw what Hunter dropped earlier. All the receivers are 4-stars except one. And if you're talking as Emmanuel Choice as the 1 3-star, he's gotten good receivers at all 4-stars. So
Kenneth, I can't argue that. He has low interceptions. I mean, he's not a risk taker either. I mean, he's a conservative guy. He's a game manager. I've said it all along. What was the David Stone thing, Jay?
David Stone was, I think, selected as the top freshman defensive lineman this year. Going to be playing in college football. Hey, here's what I also want to say, Jason, is this. I don't know what it is about Penn State. I can't pick a quarterback playing for Penn State to put up ridiculous numbers.
Bad offenses.
I don't think it's a great offense either, Jeremy. And I don't think quarterbacks there usually are that successful. They're just not. Name the best quarterback to come out of Penn State in the last 15 years. Oh, don't even.
Probably
Hunter,
McSorley.
Don't even. Trace McSorley. Where's he playing, Hunter? Hunter, where's he playing right now? Don't tell me the XFL.
Jason. But Jay, here's my problem with you. You can't talk about Trace McSorley.
Stop. Throw it on a dime. Is he in the NFL? Hunter, is he in the NFL?
Jason, you cannot say, is he in the NFL, and then talk about how good DG is. DG didn't even get an offer.
I get that, Jeremy. I get that.
You talk about how bad Trace McSorley is and these other guys, and you're talking about how good DG tried. He tested the waters.
Wow.
He didn't make it.
Jeremy, I'm not sitting there telling you DG's an unbelievable quarterback. I'm saying I think he's the best in the Big Ten right now as far as if you look national, who's everyone going to pick? They're going to pick DG right now.
Yeah, he's the oldest. He's been there 7 years. I agree.
That's what I'm basing off of. I'm not saying I personally think he's an all-star quarterback. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Hey, all I know is it's close, and we're going to be able to watch the games very soon.
That's right. He's not an NFL quarterback, guys. Period. End of discussion. You don't need to tell me that. I'm not a dummy. If anybody's going to get on there and tell me DG's going to be in the NFL and have a long career, then I think they're mistaken.
Hey, Jay, he's a good college quarterback.
That's exactly right.
He's a good college quarterback. And whether or not he wanted to leave, I'm not going to sit here and talk about this more. I'm sitting here saying DG's a good college quarterback. I don't know what else you want to be, what you want me to say. I'm just going to tell it like it is because that's who I am. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to change my viewpoint because everyone on here is hating on me saying what DG is or isn't. He's a good college quarterback.
That's right. I agree with that. 100%.
And listen, I'll tell you another good college quarterback, Jay. Josh Heupel. He wasn't a pro quarterback.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so let me read this comment because I know we're getting late here. He represented the university the right way, then moved out of the way, so you all would be happy and make room for Jackson. I don't know who you mean by you all, but whatever. Read the comments, sure. Hey, Eric, you have said for sure. You've said on here, Eric, that you want Jackson Arnold to be the guy this year over DG. So I don't know what you're arguing.
Jackson Arnold is better. That's what Mess says.
I'm not going to sit here and hide and say, well, I don't want Jackson. I absolutely want Jackson Arnold. And no, Eric, I'm not.
Hey,
Jeremy, first off, Jay, let me just mute yourself for a second.
Let me say something first. I'm all for Jackson Arnold, too. It's not just Jeremy. I think Jackson Arnold for Oklahoma is the better option. I do. That's my personal opinion, too. I think his NFL arm, like Mess says, and I think he could be elite. I think DG was what DG was, and that's what you were going to get from him. He was never going to go. That was the best year he could ever have in Oklahoma. He was not going to have a better year than he had last year. There's no way. And so I think the ceiling is higher with Jackson Arnold, and start getting him some experience ASAP. That's what I think it comes down to.
Well, I'm going to say a few things before we close this, and it's one, if it's 65% or 60% with 15 picks and OU wins the national title because he makes big-time plays and big-time moments, I'm okay with that. Second of all, Dillon Gabriel was a phenomenal Sooner. I love Dillon Gabriel off the field. I like how he managed the games on the field. I'm not ripping Dillon Gabriel as a person, anything except for the fact that it's Jackson Arnold's team now. The coaches made that decision. Jeremy here did not make that decision.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric, obviously you are going 8-4. You're not a OU fan. So if you're going to say you, I don't understand what the hate is. I never won a conference championship in the Big 12. It wasn't just his fault. It wasn't just his fault.
Keaton, I agree with you. I think he could have more interceptions than you would want, but I do think he's going to have to learn. And that's one way to learn is get thrown out there against really good teams. I think looking at 2025, even the year after, having him play a full year is going to be huge for him. So it's definitely what they needed to do. Talent-wise, ceiling-wise, experience-wise, yes. I mean, DG was going to get you where DG – right now, I guarantee you, what would you be picking right now, Eric and other people, if DG was a quarterback this year? Would you be picking 10-2 or would you be saying 8-4?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
We talked about the exclamation points, the number 8. That's a good one, Colin, to say about the softball score sheet. So maybe the next one will be Kennedy. We will see. And Braden, you're right. DG was great off the field.
Who do you think they would 10-2 with DG, 9-3 with Jackson Arnold? Gray guy says so. Very similar, very similar. So I think what you're saying, Bobby. To be fair, Mess, the last quarterback to win this conference championship was Rattler, and we tossed him aside. So what you're saying is you think Rattler's better than Caleb Williams? They should have kept him.
Hey, correct? Jay, I will say this:
right?
Rattler's arm strength 10 times better than DG's.
He's looking pretty good at Saints right now. So
he's an NFL quarterback, Jay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we could probably talk all night about this. We're not going to, though. So we'll get off here, but appreciate everyone being on here.
Find out
as always,
year, guys. Find out this year.
We'll find out this year. That's exactly right. So we'll see everyone tomorrow night, same time, same place. Till next time. Boomer.